The ancient Romans strongly believed in supernatural forces. In this video, we look into the world of Roman superstitions, showing how these beliefs were a big part of their daily lives and decisions. Many of these superstitions, like fearing the number 13 and seeing black cats as bad luck, are still around in our everyday life. From reading signs to worshipping household gods, these practices give us a clear view into what the Romans thought and believed. One of the main superstitions in Rome was reading omens. Special priests, called augurs, played an important role in both public and private life by interpreting signs from the gods. These signs could be anything from how birds flew to how animals behaved, and were seen as messages from the gods. Before starting wars or making big political choices, Romans would ask these augurs for advice, believing that ignoring these signs could lead to bad outcomes. In Roman homes, everyday rituals were dedicated to Lares and Penates, the guardian spirits of the family and home. Lares were seen as protectors of the family and property, while Penates were linked to the family's food supply and well-being. Romans honoured these spirits with offerings and prayers, making them a key part of home life. The fear of the evil eye was widespread in Roman society. It was known as oculus malus, and was believed to be a malevolent glare given to someone out of envy or dislike, which could bring misfortune, illness, or even death to the person at whom it was directed. To protect themselves, Romans used amulets and charms, with symbols like the phallus being very common. These items were believed to protect against bad intentions and envy, showing how Romans tried to keep negative forces away. Like today, in ancient Rome, crossing paths with a black cat was seen as a sign of bad luck. This belief probably came from the cat's mysterious nature and its habit of being active at night. Romans might change their path or do a ritual to avoid bad luck when they saw a black cat. Spilling salt, which was very valuable in ancient times, was seen as a bad sign. To fight off the bad luck, Romans would throw a pinch of the spilled salt over their left shoulder. This act was thought to protect them from bad spirits hiding behind them. The number 13 was feared, often linked to disorder, and the unpredictable nature of Pluto, the god of the underworld. Though it was not a dominant or highly influential superstition in Roman culture compared to other beliefs. The most notable instance of Roman aversion to the number 13 name comes from the dining practice known as the triclinium, where guests would recline on couches to eat. It was common for these dining parties to have 12 guests, a number considered to be auspicious and harmonious. The fear of 13 in this context likely stemmed from the belief that having 13 people dine together would bring bad luck. In ancient Rome, if someone saw or heard an owl, especially during the day, they usually took it as a warning that something bad was going to happen. People thought this because owls are active at night and make spooky sounds, so they were linked with the underworld. When this happened, Romans often asked religious fortune tellers to help them understand what it meant and what they should do about it. The Roman calendar marked days as good fasti or bad nefasti for doing different things. This affected many decisions from business to personal events. Romans' following of this calendar shows their belief in the timing and influence of the stars on life on Earth. Sneezing was also important in Roman superstitions. How and when someone sneezed was seen as a sign from the gods. A sneeze to the right was good, while to the left was bad. Saying salve, which is the Latin term for be well after someone sneezed, was both polite and a way to protect them. Symbols like the phallus, known as fascinus or fascinum, were not just for protection against the evil eye, but also represented fertility and strength. These symbols were commonly seen and worn in Roman society, showing how comfortable Romans were with them in their everyday lives and celebrations. When we look at these superstitions, it's clear that the ancient Romans really believed in things like signs, spirits, and other supernatural stuff. These weren't just minor parts of their way of life. Instead, these beliefs were really important and had a big impact on their religion, their culture, and the way they did things every day. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for similar content.